What's up, Shelly? Getting some writing in today. What story I'm doing? Hidden Cave, the next severed press book. Trying to get this thing done. Chadlewski, I see you've got the bassy keyboard mic back again. Is your wife bitching again? Is she complaining about it? Tell her to go in the other room. Same keyboard I always have, Chad. You just pop in every once a month. It's literally the same exact spot in the corner of the desk it has always been. In fact, there's a little nick on the table, on the L-shaped table. There's a little nick, and I literally, because I'm so particular and odd, I put this corner on that nick. Now, it might move a little bit, but there's Mr. Frank. Hopefully today we'll have a full house. Get some midweek chatting in. Yeah, not just regular Chadlewski, the Chadlewski. Totally different person than what the one you're normally thinking of. This? It's one, two. Okay, so I just got to get to this next page. This chapter's done. I think Bon Jovi is developing a narrative in the media that will culminate in a Richie Sambora reunion in the summer. They keep hinting at it. I'll be doing Twitch again soon to help hold me accountable. I have to get this novelization done. Well, there you go. Can't just come and go, man. It throws me. Maybe John Bon Jovi can talk to Snake and say, hey, stop being an idiot about this. Let Sebastian back in the... Don't you guys want to make any money? And I'm sure he still has money involved there. He's like, I want to make more money. I still own you guys. Far too busy to do Twitch these days, but I've got to get this thing done. Far too busy. The Chadleski isn't busy. He's far too busy. There's Amanda Ward. What's going on, Amanda? There's Tom Duffy. What's up, Amanda? Me and Amanda did some writing yesterday. She came a little later than normal, but I still got like about 1,500 words in when she was here, which is pretty good. Pretty good because I haven't really hit those kinds of numbers day in and day out. That's my goal today. My goal today is 1,500 words on anything. Right now I'm working on the next Severed Press book. I'm about 12,000 words into it. It's 30,000 word book, so I should knock this out. Amanda says I got a decent amount written yesterday too, and today. Very good. Keep it going. Tomorrow we go to lunch. The gang, and then I have therapy, and then I'm hoping at some point I can get some writing in. Hi, I'm the Loch Ness Monster. Mr. Frank. And someday that will be in German. Coming soon from Sever Press. Severed. Post-severed. Post-severer. I got these little coffee things, like you get at restaurants, like little coffee things. And I realized that this morning I was like, man, I don't want to eat anything. Like, I'm not hungry, but I'm starting to get nauseous again. And even drinking coffee, it's not filling me up. And I was like, you know what? I want to eat a couple of these. I'm going to suck on a couple of these. And those coffee barrels are pretty good. The root beer, remember the root beer ones? Those are delicious. There's Moody Abigail hanging out with us again. Appreciate you lurking. And it's also a reminder for everybody to resubscribe if you have not, and or subscribe for the first time if you would like. Use your Twitch Prime via your Amazon Prime. And also follow me on YouTube. All of these episodes eventually get on to the YouTube, about an hour or so after they drop, and I have a bunch of other stuff on there as well. So check all that out as well. Anyway, I got like a whole giant thing of these stupid little coffee things, and I'm like, you know what? This is hitting the spot. I'm not nauseous anymore. So, easy with the bug words. You meant big words. Your vocabulary is awful, atrocious. Now I got to look up via. I also say Via or Steve Via, the guitar player, Steve Via. So that what you're saying is you're diabetic. I don't know what's going on. I'm saying I'm hungry. Yesterday, Amanda came over. And sometimes we go to lunch, but she came over a little later, and we wanted to get words in, which is fine. We got some talking. We do a lot of chatting as well. And then she left, and then I was like, I'm feeling hungry, but she brought me a coffee. I finished the coffee. I was like, I'm not going to eat anything. I'm going to wait till dinner. And then at like 4:30, my wife reminds me, hey, we're going to my cousin's son's Little League game. And I was like, oh, I totally forgot. Like, yeah, no problem. So I was actually writing. I was actually working after Amanda left. I was still working. So I finished up, and then she had to wait for her mom to get ready. So we were running a little late, which was fine. And by the time I got in the car, it was like, I think she picked me up at like 7 o'clock. And I was freaking starving. And then we went to the game. We watched Little Leaguers play baseball, which is cool. There was this catcher on the other team, and every ball pitched is dropped or way out of the strike zone and bouncing around. And every single play, this catcher would catch the ball, and then he would, if anybody was on third base. It was cute. He did it every single play. And then the game ended, and I was like, please, can we just stop? I got to eat something. We went to Hardee's, and it was closed. They were remodeling or something. I was annoyed. Then we went to McDonald's. I got 3 McDoubles plain, and a large fry, and barbecue sauce, which is not a condiment. And I should not have had the third McDouble. Even though I was super hungry and I hadn't eaten all day, two burgers and fries would have been more than enough. So I was up several times last night, hitting the bathroom. So this morning, though, I did, when I got up, I did make 2 pieces of toast. I ate 2 pieces of toast, and now I'm sucking on chili dog outside the Tasty Freeze. Or these coffee things, one of those. So that's that. And then I took out chicken for tonight, though my wife says she's going to be home late from work. So we'll see if we actually eat chicken or if we eat some kind of fast food she picks up. Who knows? And Chinese buffet tomorrow. 11 a.m. if you're around. I may have purchased round-trip airfare to Jacksonville yesterday. Is it a set date, or is it just are they random dates? You still got to pay me my the $75 too, so I can lock you in. No rush on it, but Shelly needs that to buy some food, especially since you're so insistent on having M&Ms every year. So we spend $800 just on M&Ms because Frank wants M&Ms. I don't know if I can handle a Chuck bootless Mondogan. We'll get used to it, because Chuck is now dead to me. No Chuck this year, and who knows if he'll ever come back. I will tell you, Mr. Frank, though, I did send JC an invite as well. Try and be the better person. Next page, Peter Marsh. Peter Marsh just slips right in. Peter Marsh. Next page. How is Chuck doing with his westerns? I don't know. Really don't talk to Chuck all that much anymore. We have a group chat with Chuck, and he hardly ever gets involved on it. I guess he's very busy with his life. Wow, what? Wow, what? Huh? What? I got a few more lines on this chapter, and then I think I'm going to jump to the next chapter. Better than JC, impossible. We'll see. I need JC to come and drink 400 K-cups of my coffee down. I got way too much coffee. I figure if he doesn't come, I'm going to be left with so much coffee this year. Who is messaging me now? Hey, it's Jack. We can get your biz 100,000 repay 114,000. Fuck off. Was my answer. And Jack, you are blocked. Keep getting a lot of those. Easy fix, I'll quit buying it. And what am I supposed to do? Live off of coffee candies? JC drink a breathtaking amount of coffee. Does drink a breathtaking. He does. It was amazing that it was almost like anybody else got up to get a cup of coffee, JC automatically got up and got his own cup of coffee. So it was like hundreds of thousands of cups of coffees that weekend with him. And it just does not stop. I thought it was just a writing quirk, but I've hung out with him enough to see that he Jones is for coffee every minute of the day. Jack DeGolia? No, it's not Jack DeGolia. That sounds like Jack. It's like Jack Wallen's messaging me. Jack DeGolia? No, just some random dude. His name's probably not even Jack. Maybe Buddha deems you guys troublemakers now, and he's cleaning up his act. I don't think Chuck's smart enough for that. He also has even though he knows we've done this every year, he also signed up him and Robert Essick for a crappy local Knoxville convention that same weekend. So, but I invited other different people to come in, and a couple of new people will be here. Yeah, Buddha is the troublemaker's right. Yeah, Chuck is the one that we're all here. There's 10 of us writing, and Chuck is the one walking around, talking to people, making jokes. Chuck is always, everybody else has their writing in, all their goal for the day, and here's Chuck, just, still halfway there, fighting it, and then we're all like, come on, and I'm like, maybe it's better he's not here. Yeah, we'll have a couple of new people this, that he did his era. He did his Boston, his Senator Kennedy thing all freaking weekend. Good times. Okay. Chapters. I'm at exactly 12,000 words on this book. Exactly 12,000 words. That is insane. So I've done about 300 words. Maybe his troublemaking has gotten so bad he's afraid of dragging you all down with him, so he's running the other way just to save you. You know what? That seems legit, because definitely Chuck thinks of other people before he thinks of himself. So that, you might be on to something there, Chad. Time to make it 13,000. Hey, calm down, Peter Marsh. Just hit 12. But yeah, that would be nice. I'm going to write, so I've finished that page. I'm going to jump on this next chapter. And my goal will be now to just finish this page on this one at least, which will give me 400 or 500 more words. Chad Lutsky is a Chuck Buddha apologist. Obviously. I am in this group of writers right now, and they are tossing out challenges and prompts. Just shut up and write. I like Chuck, but I like Armand too, so maybe I have poor judgment. Oh, you definitely, if you like me and you like Chuck, you definitely have poor judgment. There's, no. One of the prompts was to write a sentence with 100 words, so a giant run-on sentence. I write short sentences, so I was intimidated at first. It wasn't so bad. Yeah, I'm not a real big fan of that prompt thing. I already have too many friggin' ideas in my head. You don't need to give me any more. Well, I guess if I ever got stuck, I would do that. But I did do one time here. I used a well, I don't remember what book it was. It was a writing crime thrillers book, and in it, the guy he gives you all these different, like, hey, here's some starters for you. So like your main character can be, and here's a bunch of jobs, and then here's a crime that you can use, and here's a setting that you can use, like those kind of things. And I numbered all of them in the book, and then this is probably a couple years ago here on Twitch, and then I said, all right, like, Frank, give me a number from 1 to 27, whatever it is. Then I put it together like that, and I wrote a short story based on those prompts. And that was fun. I'm going to do that again. Another prompt was to write 1,000 words based on a title that someone in the group suggested. One of the writers came up with, and the red rolled in. I'm still trying to think of what the fuck to do with that. If you're writing a crime thriller, then have a player from Alabama die. If you're writing a horror book, the sea was angry. Zombie Tea Party, Death and Cenote, Still Dying Too. I keep thinking Roll Tide in Alabama. Yeah, that's just what I thought. Roll Tide. I'm going to make a pen name and just rewrite Rockford File episodes and have nobody notice. Jim Rockford would notice. You know what? They'd be bestsellers. Looks like I had a couple of new people follow me today. So if you just followed me, I appreciate that. Jump in and say hi. Let me know if you're a writer or not. You don't have to be, but let me know if you are. And my subscriber number just went up, but I don't see anybody. It's just the weirdest thing. When I get my summary today, it will say that I did not get any new subscribers. And then tomorrow, I won't even be on, and it'll say, hey, you got a new subscriber today. I also think I'm like one subscriber away from getting paid again, which is nice. So I'm going to officially have my hardcore band together with everything being recorded remotely. I'm pretty stoked. Hopefully by fall we'll have it available on vinyl and CD. Very cool. Very cool. Looking forward to hear that. I watched the other day, two documentaries on Tubi, I believe. I don't know if you've seen these, Chad, but they are documentaries about the 2000s and hardcore bands in Winnipeg, Canada. The first one was the bands in Winnipeg, Canada, and you've probably never heard of any of the bands. I've never heard of any of the bands. But the whole scene, basement shows and VFWs and kind of, it was pretty cool though, because I was like, man, I thought we were remote. These people are in the middle of snow-covered Winnipeg, nowhere. No, they. I mean, so there's a couple of people in it that have DOA shirts on, and they were all excited because like NoFX came through at one point, and but otherwise it's just these doofy hardcore kids. That was pretty good. And then the other one was like a half an hour, 40 minutes, set in Brandon, Canada, which is like a half an hour from Winnipeg. And that hardcore scene, and there was a band that had played like 20 years ago, and had only put out a demo. These guys are all in their 40s now, and they want to do one last show kind of thing. And so that was the documentary. I think that was the second one. But also pretty cool. You know, they of course, they talk about a lot of the bands and influences and stuff like that, but it's pretty cool. I think one of them is like Wheat City Hardcore. I think was the was one of them. Anyway, check them out. They're on Tubi. I also watched the Killing Joke documentary, which is really weird. The dude is I don't remember what the Killing Joke one, the name of it is. It's like something show. But I think if you look up Jazz Coleman, the singer, you'll find it. But it's like almost 3 hours long. And a lot of it is this weird spiritual journey they're all on for their music. Like they really think they're way more important than they are. But the ins and outs of the band and all this stuff is pretty cool. So check that one out. So there's 3. I've given you 3 right there. I want to do the novelization of Street Trash. Who do I see about that? You probably got to see somebody about it, I would imagine. But just do it. The Killing Joke. I think you meant the bet. No, I'm not a DC Marvel. I'm not a DC Comics fan. I'm a Marvel guy, and only the comics. No, Killing Joke is the great band from the early or from the late '70s. I guess they officially started, and a bunch of bands have covered a bunch of their songs. Yeah, there's your answer, Frank. I kept watching that Killing Joke one, and I'm like, when's this thing gonna end? And then I pause it, I'm like, holy crap, I watched for an hour, and I got like an hour and a half left of this thing. I also watched the Tom Brady roast the other night. I laughed like, I don't know, 5 times. But I mean, all the football players were all their stuff was written for them, and they could barely read the teleprompter to say the jokes. And then afterwards, Kevin Hart would just say over and over, Jesus Christ, God damn, that was funny. And then he would say the funny line he had just heard from a comic or somebody. I was like, all right. I know. Yeah, Nikki Glaser, she was great. She was great. And that podcast dude, who I'd never heard of before, he was really good too. But again, another thing, you sit through 3 hours of that, and I'm like, oh, okay, so basically Tom Brady is way too good looking, and Tom Brady's gay, and his wife slept with the kung fu guy. That was literally every joke. Very cool. How far am I from the? There's Ben. What's up, Ben? Welcome in. Ben hung out at the Michael Whitmer's book signing on Saturday, which is cool. Ben, next Saturday, just so as you know, the 11th, I will be at River City Writers Group from 1 to 3. Me and the lady who runs it, Claudia, we will be talking about pantsers versus plotters. Apparently she's a plotter. I don't know. She's written one book that's never been published. Anyway, pantsers versus plotters at the library, wherever that is. Is everyone here a pantser? I'm wearing shorts right now. I would imagine Chad Lutsky is an outliner. You will have to attend that. That should be a good. It's a good meeting. I will post it on my Facebook. Panther would kick plotters' asses. Pantera too. You know what you are, you sons of... Yeah, find me on Facebook. It's my name. Send me a friend request. I will actually probably post that up today. The everything. Oh, I thought you had a lisp from the candy. Why would I get a lisp from the candy? Candy gives you lisps. That's not good. I can see the bottom now, so I'm going to get there. Ugh. If she sells seashells at Buc-ee's, they're called Buc-ee shells because they put their name on everything. It is 90 degrees out, mostly sunny. It says 90, which means it's got to be at least 95, 96 out there. Brutal. All the puddles here are ringed with yellow dust, or as we call it in New Jersey, pork rolled spices. Exactly. I was thinking about having pork roll for lunch today, but then I didn't have lunch. I had these coffee things. And drinking coffee. I feel like JC. Alright, couple more lines here and I hit the next page. Next page, Peter Marsh. Next page. Ms. Frank said, I had PRC, no E, in a B for breakfast. I don't know what any of those letters mean. I think what Frank's trying to say is he had Fruity Pebbles cereal for breakfast. Makes sense. All right, I'm gonna write it for a little more on this story. My goal is always every day is like, I'm gonna write on 3 different things, blah blah blah. I'm not. Whoa, language, Peter Marsh. Come on, kids. There's kids involved here. There's 8-year-olds hanging out. Keep it going. All my buddies from the Little League last night, they're all hanging out with me. They all played hooky today just to hang out with me on Twitch. You've been away too. Yeah. It's been 23 years since I lived there and could throw those initials out there like it's nothing. Yeah, I figured that's what it was. I was joshing you. I was Josh Groban you. I was Josh Peckin you. I was Josh Brolin you. You're not a big fan of the egg? Normally when I make them at home, I buy the box of pork roll slices. 8 slices. I'll put half a slice of cheese on each piece. I'll put 4 pieces of pork roll, so it'll be 4 pieces of pork roll and 2 slices of cheese on a bagel. But I never do egg. Never do egg. Don't even think about it. It's not even a thought in my head. Pork roll, egg, and cheese, not even a thought in my head. No E. No E on this B. I just wrote, hey, hi, said. That's a line right there. That's a good line. You have a Dying Days Twitter account, right? Yeah. Yeah, same for the walk and talks. Which I got to do one today. I'm going to do one today for Friday. Although I don't know if it's going to be one of yours. Yeah, I have 7 different Twitter accounts. Well, yeah, write them all down. I think I've done 2 or 3 of yours from this new batch. 7, yeah. I have the Armand author, Armand helps, Mondo method, Armcast, Lunch Ladies, Dying Days. I think that's it. I think it's only 6 now. I used to do the subculture one, but I haven't done that in a long time. Who can say? Lunch Ladies Book Club podcast was Shelley's podcast for a couple years, and I ran her Twitter, but she stopped doing reviews on that. I just got to be too much with life and everything else. But even though Armcast has been gone for like 2-3 years, and Mondo Meth has been gone for a couple of years, I still keep those up there because I share stuff. I share a lot of stuff of other authors. So when you have a book out, I will share links to it because I'm a nice guy. Armand Skates. No, that was my MySpace back in the day. I would show all my cool tricks and stuff. Riding 3 skateboards at once, stuff like that. Handstands on a skateboard going down a 90-degree angle drop. You know, cool stuff like that. Oh, look, here's Armand Skates jumping out of an airplane. No parachute, but he's going to hit the ground on his skateboard and just roll down the hill. Yeah, you had to have a Twitter account for each skateboard. Yeah, a separate MySpace for each. That way I could have cool music and cool background, different backgrounds for each one. Powell plus Peralta. Exactly. I was never a big skater because I have no balance. My balance was always awful. Plus, I never really learned how to ride a bike. So, that also added. I played baseball, not organized. Front on the street, stickball, baseball, street hockey, football, all of those things, but on a casual level because we had like 30 kids on our block. That was pretty good. I'm gonna be honest with you. Did you play any sports growing up in New Jersey? Nothing organized. No. My mother was a stay-at-home mom, and she did not have a driver's license. So me and my brother basically were screwed. We'd have to walk everywhere. And I was not going to walk like 5 miles to go to practice for anything. Same here in Staten Island. Wiffle ball. Yeah, wiffle ball was always great. We played wiffle ball. We'd play... I play everything. Street hockey was the one that we liked to play the most because we would play other towns, like they would have their team come in. It was very disorganized. It wasn't like we had a schedule or anything. It was just like, perfect example. My brother would say, "Hey, my buddy Kevin and his buddies are playing up in Highlands. We're gonna go up there on Saturday and we're gonna play them." Okay. And then we'd all walk like 400 miles to friggin' Atlantic Highlands, the Highlands, and we'd play those guys. Kevin Smith, the director, and all of his buddies. We played those guys. That was fun. Good times, had by all. Shit. My cousins lived in the same block. Wiffle ball, football. I suck at football, but I was always way bigger than all the other kids. They couldn't tackle me. There you go. You would play against Kevin Smith. Yes. Sometimes I would play on his team. It only happened maybe half a dozen times. Him and Walt. Because we graduated at the same time. I graduated Middletown North. He graduated Henry Hudson, which is in the Highlands. So he's like 3 towns over. He grew up like 3 towns over from me. He was just a regular douchebag back in the day, like everybody else. He was a New Jersey asshole, like the rest of us. I still remember my brother coming home. He was like, "Hey, you remember Kevin Smith?" "Yeah." "Hey, he just shot a movie, and Alexis Lehman, his band did the soundtrack for it." Like, all right, let me see this movie. So he played me the movie before it had even come out. And Alexis hangs out when we were doing Beers and Fears. He was at a couple of the signings. He does not like talking about Love Among Freaks. That was the band that did the original soundtrack. And obviously when Miramax released the movie, I think it was Miramax, they kept one of their songs, but all the rest of the songs were bigger bands, obviously. And so Alexis doesn't really like talking about it that much. And I remember Mr. Frank and Mr. Jeff were signing, and one of them said something about Clerks, or Kevin said there's something. And I was like, hey, go talk to Alexis, because he did the soundtrack for that movie. And Alexis was not happy with me about that, because he does not like to talk about that. Alexis is in a band. He's in the Matt Uri band. Plays bass. They tour all over the country. Matt Uri filled in when they got rid of Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi. He played their South American tour and I think their Asian tour. He was a guitar player for Bon Jovi for about 6 months or so. He did like 2 long extended tours playing with Bon Jovi and singing a couple of songs live with them. So a lot of if you're from New Jersey, you're tied to everybody else from New Jersey. When I was a kid, Danny DeVito used to chase me down the street and beat me up. I didn't realize he was older than me, but he was a little kid. Danny DeVito chased me down the street. I enjoyed hounding him about this stuff because he was so visibly uncomfortable talking about it. Yeah, and I knew he was going to be too. And that made me happy, watching you guys hit him with all of this, Kevin Smith stuff, and him just not want it. He just wanted to walk away. That is the same as Staten Island. Everybody knows everyone. Yeah, because they're all selling each other weed. That's pretty much Staten Island. The only time I would go to Staten Island is there's a club they used to have called the Red Spot. We would go up and see Zebra play. They played there all the time. And Staten Island pizza is pretty damn good. It was 30 years ago. Driving up and down Highland Boulevard and then Maximus. Exactly. Yeah, they did have some good... we would drive into Staten Island for pizza, or we would drive into Brooklyn for mini bagel sandwiches at 3 in the morning after we left like the Limelight in Manhattan to go see Anthrax or something. Kids in Sayreville used to brag about how they would best John Bon Jovi's ass playing tackle football at Truman School. They would beat his ass, I would imagine. That's funny. And obvious it was total BS. Obviously, it says in the documentary it was a lie. Oh man, the Limelight. That is the club that used to be a church. Yep. It was a drug rehab center, then it was a church, then it was a drug rehab center, and I don't know if it's even still there anymore. I know it's definitely not the Limelight, because that dude went to prison. That Limelight place was awesome, though. But I did not do any drugs. I did not drink anything there. I did not touch anything there. But you would just see the craziest shit going on. Like people just getting jammed at like 6 or 7 needles full of heroin at once, and people having crazy sex everywhere. Great bands played there, though. Great bands. Somebody told me I've got to go to Donna's in Staten Island. Nana. Damn it. Peter Moore says, Jesus. I don't know why he said Jesus. Now it's just a drug center. Probably. Yeah, we would take the train in from Middletown, New Jersey. We would jump on the Amtrak or whatever it is. We go into the city, and then we would go to the Limelight, and the shows wouldn't start until like 3 in the morning. It felt like. Then we'd see a couple of good bands play, and then by the time you get out of there, it was you hope that there would be a Sunday morning train, and then we would usually hitch a ride with somebody to go, never to go home. We would hitch a ride with somebody to go to Brooklyn and get mini bagel sandwiches, and they were like $2 each. So you pretty much just put a 20 on the counter, and the dude just throws like a bunch of them in a bag for you. Ooh. What's the name of that place again, Clear? Just so I know where to avoid. Yeah, I think that's been gone. I think the Limelight has been gone longer than you've been alive. Very well could be. I saw Anthrax there at the Limelight when they had been dropped from Island Records from Atlantic, and they were going to sign with a place called Energy Records. And I was on the guest list because I was doing Black Moon Magazine then. And I went there and I actually interviewed Anthrax. But it never made it into an issue because then we stopped doing the zine. What was the name of those hardcore documentaries? Because I want to check them out. I know one of them is like Wheat City Hardcore, I believe it's called. It's on Tubi. Check that one, and then and then the other one is like Brandon Hardcore, something like that. I don't know. But if you watch one, usually they'll say, just like it. You'll see the other one. And then the Killing Joke one, I don't know the name of it. It's like something show. But Jazz Coleman is the lead singer, and I think if you look him up, Jazz, J-A-Z, 1Z. 1Z if you're nasty. 1Z. And so that, all three of those are good. Tubi's fun, good. So much stuff in it is free. Oh yeah, I will be able to remember that and be able to Google it. There you go. You also, they have these inventions called pens and pencils and stuff. You can write things down too. There's also another invention called paper. You use the pen, the invention of the pen, and you write it on the invention of the paper, and it basically lets you see later what that name of that thing would be. So there you go. I'm gonna look up the. Come on, you're not gonna bust your balls. What is this? I'm gonna look it up for you. The Death and Resurrection Show is the. It's from 2013. That's the Killing Joke one. Now, let me look up this one. Wheat City Hardcore. Is this the one? Oh, let me look at this. Manitoba Connection is the other one. I'm breaking your balls, Henry. Do I amuse you? So there they are. If Propagandhi was the only band I knew in that one. Yep, that's the one. Manitoba Connection. So if Chad Lutsky, if you're still on, those are the names of the three right there. I'm at school. You think we have that here? I think you do. You probably do. Okay, wrote them down. Good. Now let me know when you watch them, and let me know what you thought. Handsome Dick Man. That's what I thought. I saw Manitoba. I was like, oh, Handsome Dick? No. That we need. We need a one with the dictators. Manitoba Connection. That is a song by Kermit the Frog, right? Exactly. Yeah. So you've already seen half of the thing. Right, I'm going to finish this line because I'm at 12,489 words. I want to get to 12,500 or more. But I am gonna write more once I am done here. I want a 7-part docuseries on Manitoba's Wild Kingdom. You know what? You might even get a 10 spot out of that one. There's so much going on. Do you remember what's that other band that was around the same time? I can't think of the name of them now. They had that song Prime Mover. It was like on MTV all the time. The hell was the name of that, guys? Look that shit up too. Zodiac Mind Warp. Frank, you remember them? Zodiac Mind Warp and the Love Reaction? $1988. They're still an active band, by the way. You're digging too deep, Rosamilia. I don't know why I thought of those guys. It's literally one song. Never heard of them? I think you would like it. It's catchy. Prime Mover is the song. So there, I've given you some homework as well. All right, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate everybody hanging with me. This was a lot of fun. No clue. Listen, the song is Zodiac Mind Warp is the band. You've heard this song. You've definitely heard this song if you're from New Jersey. I don't know why. Probably not be on tomorrow. But definitely Friday. Definitely on Friday. Probably not this weekend either, so you know, you gotta, your next shot to see this pretty face in red is Friday. So good work. I will send you those questions. Perfect. I appreciate that. Everybody have an excellent rest of your Wednesday, and have a good week. I will see you all on Friday. Appreciate everybody. I really do appreciate everybody hanging out. This was a lot of fun.